Hello friends, and welcome to our slow flow yoga practice. We're not going to need any props for this practice today, just you and your body. And as always, if you want to play some gentle music in the background or whatever you need to do to feel comfortable, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to start in a comfortable seated position, so it might be cross legs. If cross legs doesn't work for you, you can do whatever other seated position feels good for you. And then we're starting with the eyes closed down. And just taking a few moments here just to fully arrive here in the space. Just fully arriving here in your practice. Just releasing the day that you've had so far. And not thinking about what's yet to come, but just making the conscious decision now to step into the present moment. Bringing your awareness to your body. Just noticing how you're feeling in your body this morning without judgment, just observation. And just anchoring your sit bones down towards the earth as you sit up nice and tall through the spine. So we're raising the crown of the head up towards the sky. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Belly is relaxed so we can breathe into the belly. And if you find any points of tension in your body, can you invite your breath into these spaces? And just allow your breath to begin to dissolve any tension that you may be holding. And now bring your awareness to the natural rhythm of your breath. Just observe the way in which your breath is flowing through your body. And let's start to deepen our breath a little bit here. Taking a big deep inhale through the nose all the way down into the belly, so you feel like you're breathing into your entire torso, your entire body. And then a long smooth exhale out through the nose. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Let's keep going here, just doing a few more rounds of breathing. As we inhale, we're drawing in prana, life force energy. And as you breathe out, you can release tension, you can release stagnant energy, anything else that you need to let go of. Let it all go on the exhale. One more deep breath here together. And then just gently releasing the control of your breath and come back to the natural breath and notice any shifts or changes in your energy, your body, your nervous system after just a few short rounds of breathing. And we'll hold this really strong connection to the breath as we start to flow through the practice today. And we're actually going to start with a few little neck stretches, neck exercises. So you might like to keep your eyes closed here. If you want to, you can gently blink open your eyes and come back into the space. Wherever we are, we've still got the spine long, shoulders relaxed. Take an inhale here And then as we exhale, let's drop the right ear down towards the right shoulder. So making sure you're not lifting your shoulders up to meet the ears, so the shoulders stay dropped down away from the ears, and we're just releasing out through the side of the neck. Inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale, drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale to center. Let's do once more to each side with your breath. And this time as we inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. If you want a little bit more for this little neck stretch, what you can do is bring your hand, gently place it to the top of the head, and then reach the other fingertips away. And then just start to apply very gentle pressure. So that's going to intensify the opening in your neck. Maybe play around with the positioning of your head so you can get that little sweet spot here in the neck stretch. One more deep breath here. Inhale, let's very gently release. I'm going to come over to the other side. So if you're taking the next level up, you can bring your hand to the top of the head and stretch those fingertips away. Getting that beautiful release here through the neck. One more deep breath here together. And then inhale, let's gently release. Exhale, drop the chin down to the chest now. So we're getting that beautiful length through the back of the neck now. And then from here, we're starting to move into some neck rolls. So you can either do a half option where I am here, just rolling the head to one side and then over to the other. If you would like to, you can take a full neck roll now. So that's where you drop your head all the way behind you. Being very slow and mindful with the movements here, just because the neck is a very sensitive part of our body. If you take the full neck option, just make sure that you come around in the other direction so that you're nice and even. Just releasing any tension that you might be holding out of the neck. And then when you've moved through each side, you can come back to center. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart. And then from here, we're clasping the hands, turning the palms away. And then inhale, let's float the arms up. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, and then start to float the arms back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, float the arms down. Let's do 2 more rounds here with your breath. Gently release the clasp of your hands now. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, let's come for a side bend over to one side. So you just want to make sure you're grounding down through that sit bone. Reach out through the fingertips. Keep drawing back on that shoulder. Rotate the spine, open the heart, and breathe deeply into the side body. This should feel pretty nice here in your body. And then from here, let's swing down and around. I'm going to come all the way over for that side bend to the other side. So ground down through the opposite sit bone now. Reach out through those fingertips. Breathe deeply into the side body. One more breath here. Inhale. Let's float around. We'll do one more round to each side with our breath. And then use the top hand to bring you up. Bring the hands down through heart in prayer position. And we'll come over onto hands and knees. So you've got knees stacked onto the line of your hips, hands just forward of the shoulders. And we'll just start to gently sway the hips here from side to side. And you might even hear or feel some little clicks in the hip space. And then let's come back to stillness now. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. As we inhale, start to drop through the belly, lift up through your heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck your chin, rounding through the spine. Let's do that again. Inhale, belly drops, heart lifts. Exhale, rounding the spine. Let's go for 3 more rounds here. So as we inhale, we're really threading the heart forward. And then exhale, pressing the mat away with the hands. Twice more here with your breath. And this time as we inhale, let's come back to center and then float the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, let's come into thread the needle. So you're threading your right hand through. So resting the right shoulder, right temple to the mat. You might keep your hand where it is. You might stretch that right arm long or float that arm up and then wrap it around the lower back. Just feel that beautiful opening here through the right shoulder. Nice little rotation here through the spine. Let's hold for 1 more big, beautiful breath together. And then inhale, float the right arm up. Exhale, let's come back to center and change sides. Now inhale, float the left arm. Exhale, thread the needle, sliding the left hand through. And then find that position for the right arm to rest. Getting that beautiful opening here through the left shoulder. Let's keep the breath flowing here. And then as we inhale, let's release, float the left arm up. Exhale, coming back to center. Now from here, we're going to move into melting heart pose. So I'll show you 2 different options. So option 1, you can just walk the fingertips forward and bring the third eye all the way down to your mat. It's really quite a strong pose though. So this is option 1. If it doesn't work for you, you can just pop one forearm on top of the other and then rest the third eye here. So kind of like a half variation. So see what feels good for you here. Really just offer your heart down towards the mat with every exhale. Keeping the arms engaged. So if you just ground down through the fingertips here, you'll keep some level of engagement here through the arms. 2 more deep breaths here together. And then inhale, just lift the head up off the mat. We'll start to walk the hands back. Press back into your child's pose here. So we've got the knees really wide. And let's fold forward here. So just soften everything off here. Soften the shoulders, soften the belly, and just notice the hips and your lower back starting to open up here, creating space. 3 more deep breaths here together. As we inhale, let's lift our head up off the mat. We'll walk the hands over to one side, so coming into a nice little side bend, and then exhale to fold. Breathing into the side body, big, beautiful, deep breaths. And then inhale, lift the head. Let's come all the way over to the other side. And then exhale to fold. Inhale to center, walk the hands back to the center, and then we're going to come over onto hands and knees. And we'll just do a couple of rounds of some floor salutations just to get a little bit more heat into the body. As we inhale, we'll just drop the belly and lift up through the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, float the arms up. So coming up onto the knees, we're floating the arms up. And then exhale, hands through heart and press back into your child's pose. Let's move through that again. Inhale onto hands and knees and open the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, float the arms up as we rise up onto the knees. Exhale, hands down through the heart. Let's do 3 more rounds here. So you just start to flow now at your pace. We're synchronizing the movements with the breath. Just getting that beautiful fluid movement here through the spine. Just getting some gentle heat into the body as well. When we get down to the mat now, let's hold in our child's pose for 3 big breaths. Just center yourself here. Notice your breath. Notice the heat in your body. A little bit of a different flow from here now. As we inhale, we're going to come over onto hands and knees and then drop the hips and lift the heart. So coming into a bit of a lazy up dog position. Exhale, press back into your child's pose. Let's do that again. So coming up with the rounded spine, heavy hips, light heart. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Let's do 2 more rounds here with your breath. Exhale, press back into your child's pose. Pause there for a moment, recenter, reconnect to the breath. As we inhale, just slowly roll on up through the spine. And then from here, if you can just drop over onto your left hips, we're going to come into pigeon pose. So you've got your left leg out in front. So option 1 for your pigeon pose is to take this half variation where you've got 2 big bends in your knees. If you know that you can come into the full pigeon pose, you've got your right leg stretched out behind you. So you want to be really mindful of both of your knees in this pose so you can flex that front foot. And we're squared off to the front of the mat. Take an inhale here to lengthen, and then exhale, we'll start to fold forward. So maybe you come down onto the forearms, maybe you make a little pillow for the third eye, or maybe you can come all the way down, stretching those arms out long. And we're going to spend a few breaths here, so make sure you feel comfortable. Really, really strong opening here for the outside of your left hip. So this is where we want to direct our breath and direct our awareness. We hold a lot of tension and emotion in the hips, so just observe if anything comes up for you here. You can breathe into this space and just allow that tension and that emotion to flow through you here. Couple more deep breaths. One more big breath here before we start to move out of the pose. As we inhale, let's roll on up through the spine. Come on up. Now I'm just going to swing around so that I can face the camera. But what we're going to do is just roll out onto the left hip. And we're swinging the right leg forward. So you can just pop that right foot to the outside of your left knee. Bring your right fingertips behind you. Inhale, float the left arm up. Exhale, rotate around to the right and you're hooking your left elbow to the right knee. 3 big breaths here. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And exhale to twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. One more breath working in this way. Turning the head back first, use the inhale to gently release. We'll just do a little counter twist in the other direction. Now from here, we're going to come into cow face pose. So we're kind of staying in the same position where we are. If it's available for you, the full expression of this pose is where you stack one knee on top of the other. So you might actually have to sit up and then sit back down into the pose. If that's not feeling comfortable for you, what you can do is keep the top leg where it is, but then stretch the bottom leg out and come into that half option there. So wherever we are, we'll use the inhale to lengthen through the spine. And that might be more than enough for you, and you might stay there and maybe even close your eyes down and just breathe. Otherwise, you can use the exhale to start to fold forward here. So maybe folding a little bit deeper into the pose with every breath. Let's hold for another 3 big breaths here. So just stay present, stay connected with your breath. Inhale, let's roll on up through the spine. Just unravel our legs here. You might feel like you need a little stretch out through those legs. And then we're going to take pigeon on the other side now. So the right leg will be in front. So you can either have 2 bent knees as I have here, or you can come into the full pigeon pose, stretching the left leg behind you. Being really mindful of both of your knees here again. We're squared off to the top of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, let's start to fold forward here. So maybe coming to the forearms, maybe making that pillow for the third eye, or stretching the arms all the way out long. Maybe closing your eyes down here and just bringing your awareness down to that outer right hip. Start to breathe into this space, directing your energy and your awareness to the right hip. And just notice if this side feels different than the other. Oftentimes we will find that one side feels different than the other. Just a few more breaths here. As we inhale, let's lengthen through the spine, lift the head, walk the fingertips back. Just roll out onto your right hip and then swing that left leg around. So coming into that twist. So you can bring your left hand behind you. Inhale, float the right arm up. Exhale, hook the right elbow to the left knee. 3 big breaths. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Twice more here with your breath. Inhale, let's gently release, little counter twist in the other direction. Inhale, come back to center. So we're going to come into cow face pose again. So remember, option 1 is to have both knees stacked one on top of the other, maybe lifting your hips up and then sitting down. Otherwise, you can just swing that bottom leg out and have the top leg crossed over the top. All right, as we inhale, let's lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, let's come to fold forward. So softening down, really strong for the hips this one. So you just honor your body and notice where you're at today, what your body needs today. Just a few more breaths here together. Inhale, let's roll on up through the spine. Stretch those legs out in front. Just let the energy run through the legs. Maybe even windscreen wiper your legs for a few breaths. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our back now. And just feeling the mat beneath you here, just taking a moment to pause, to integrate, and just allow the back of your body to soften down into the mat. Now from here, let's start to draw the right knee in towards the chest. And then the left leg can be stretched out long, or you can have that knee bent if that feels better for you. But we're really hugging that right knee into the chest as much as feels comfortable. You might even like to close your eyes down now as we move more towards the end of the practice. Nice and cleansing and detoxing and releasing this pose. Just one more big breath. And then we're going to come into a twist now. So that same knee comes across your body over to the left. And just stretch your right arm out beside you at shoulder height. So you want to keep both shoulders connected to the mat. You can turn your gaze over the right fingertips and get that beautiful full spinal twist. Just a few breaths here. As we inhale, let's gently release, roll back to center. Just realign your spine if you've come a little bit off center. And then we'll change sides so we can hug that left knee into the chest. The right leg could be bent or it could be stretched out nice and long. And again, just really hugging that left knee into the chest and visualizing and having the intention of cleansing, of detoxing as we hold here. Two more big deep breaths here together. And let's turn this pose into a twist, drawing that left knee over to the right side of your mat. Left arm out to shoulder height, so try and keep your shoulders grounded here. Turn your gaze over the left fingertips. You might even close your eyes down as we move towards the end of our class. One more big breath here together. And then as we inhale, let's gently release, roll back to center. Realign your spine, and then we'll hug the knees to the chest. And we'll just start to roll around in one direction. And just getting that beautiful massage here for your lower back. And then we'll come around in the other direction. Coming back to center, gently release. We are coming now into Shavasana, which is our final resting pose. So If there's any other poses that you would like to finish with, you're more than welcome to. If there's any extra props that you need to bring onto your mat to support you, you're welcome to. When you're ready for Shavasana, we're going to stretch the legs out long and just allow the feet to flop out to the side. Arms rest beside you, palms facing up, and the eyes will gently close. And just start to scan through your body and notice if you're holding on to any residual tension in your body. And if you find that you are, can you allow this tension to begin to dissolve? This is our time now for rest. Just allowing the weight of your body to melt down in towards the earth. Your breath will become soft. And I'm going to leave you here just to have your own experience in Shavasana. So please stay here for as long as you have available. A minimum of 5 minutes is a beautiful length of time just to absorb all of that prana energy that we've created. Thank you for joining me for our practice together, and I'll see you again soon. Namaste.